It's Shawna Schuh coming to you with Greg Tilford, and he is one of our leadership interviews, and he is going to be fabulous. Look at him, big strapping man. We love that, especially here at Women in the Pet Industry Network. So Greg Tillman, tell us all about what you do and who you're with. You're CEO.
Yes, I'm CEO of Animal Essentials, and I founded the company back in 1995.
Wow.
And I do a lot of work with dogs and cats, a little bit with horses too. And,
He said that because I'm like,
right.
Are you a horse owner?
Yeah, well, my bio picture has a horse on it.
It does.
Lacey, my former horse. But I've been working in this for a long time, educating veterinarians and pet owners alike. I consider myself kind of on the cutting edge because everything I do is on behalf of animal wellness, and I think, you know, my motto is that whatever success comes to Animal Essentials is kind of incidental to our cause. And, you know, our mission is to enhance and improve quality of life and companion animals, their humans, and the communities they live in, because that's what animals do for us.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
So, very, very good mission. As a leader, and a leader for a long time, and a lecturer, you go everywhere and do things. What do you think are the most important traits that a leader needs in today's world?
Well, you know, I think the whole concept and the definition of leadership is lost in the minds of many. You don't direct people and you don't direct things. You lead people. You know, you inspire people to follow you into the path and the direction of your purpose.
So how do you do that?
Empathy
All right, so there we go.
is one of the first things. Open communication.
All right.
Willing to be transparent with what you do and what you believe in. And, you know, you've got to put yourself out and expose yourself. You've got to give part of yourself to everything you put yourself into. And people really appreciate that. Then the whole world opens up when people realize that you're not looking down upon them. You know, you're not standing on a podium or something.
Although for you, you're looking down upon them.
Well,
Just because of his height.
how's that?
There you go. But what a gift to say that, you know, and that the transparency, but more importantly, how it goes into the community. You mentioned that a couple of times. So you're not just working on whatever your group is, you're all the way out.
yeah, and several years ago I had the wonderful opportunity of meeting Ben Cohen, Ben and Jerry's ice cream founder.
Yeah.
And he said, you know, Greg, you've got this great brand, you've got this great idea, herbs for animals. I mean, thinking holistically for pets and for horses and these animals that do so much for us. He said, but if you really want to resonate in what you do, go beyond the confines of your product and do something for the community.
Okay, right there
utilizes
is
those
worth
products.
this series right now, because we're getting it from the Ben and Jerry's founder, right? But more importantly, go beyond just what your products do. So talk about that just a little bit more.
Well, you know, there's a lot of talk and there's a lot of study and there's a lot of recognition of the human-animal bond right now.
Yes, absolutely.
And what they bring to us. I mean, they help with post-traumatic stress disorder. They help with autism. They bring us joy every day.
Absolutely.
They teach us things like selflessness and unconditional love. And so, to me, it's like we flow through. It really starts with the animals, comes to our products, and then goes back out to the community. You know, when people realize that they're extending themselves beyond their efforts, their intellect, beyond themselves and giving something to another form of life, and at a level where they're forced to understand the needs of that animal.
Who that cannot communicate with you.
That cannot communicate with you.
Verbally.
So-
It communicates all the time, but
Yes, and when you approach, say, the care of a dog from a holistic standpoint, by which you have to understand the real natural system of that dog, how its body works, how it thinks, how it cooperates with everything in nature, you start healing yourself. And so that's where people become aware of this bond and how valuable it is to us and how much we need it as humans. Then all of a sudden, the whole job of holistic animal care and what Animal Essentials does in providing supplements for them, it transcends consumerism and goes into something much greater.
it does. So let's go there. I have a quest and a mission to have every leader have a pet. So do you believe leaders need pets?
Absolutely, everybody needs pets.
I would agree. So how are we going to get that done? What do you think a pet will do for leaders that don't have them?
They'll teach them valuable lessons about loyalty and trust and unconditional love,
Absolutely.
and compassion, and
Humility.
humility, huge, and that's
For me.
it's something that is just grossly lacking in many aspects of the world right now.
Right.
Is humility, and leaders need to understand that leaders are not dictators.
Right.
Leaders are people that come up with a great idea. They come up with great philosophies, and they share that. It's all about. It really boils down to love.
It does. Love
And
is the word.
It's not taken. It's not given. It has to be shared. And
So, what do you think is a misstep that some leaders are doing that they don't even know they're doing?
they're not asking questions. They're not. They're trying to go it alone all the time, and it's counterproductive, and you end up realizing.
So going it alone all the time.
Going it alone all the time.
Because I think a lot of leaders think that I'm up there, I got to make all these decisions, I've got to do it
Right.
myself, I've got.
Yeah.
And so you think that's a big mistake.
It is a big mistake, and also, it's hard for a lot of leaders to be able to say, "I don't know."
It is hard to say that.
And
as a
I
human.
say it all the time, and I say it to the audiences, whether they be veterinarians or academics or pet owners. If a question comes to me, I don't try that I don't understand or I can't answer. I'll just say, I don't know, but I'm going to find the answer for that, and I'll get it to you.
Right.
Thank you very much, because I just grew from my audience. It's true that nobody learns more from a show like this or from speaking than the speaker.
Agreed.
themselves,
Agreed.
Absolutely.
My dad used to say, I had to know something to know I didn't know anything. I had to learn that I didn't know anything.
Right.
Yeah. So if you were going to give some advice to a leader coming up, what would it be? Or even a current leader?
Don't be afraid, again, to ask questions. Be in the moment. I think a lot of leaders are so busy trying to reach goals in the future,
Yep.
trying to reach deadlines in the future, that they just walk past opportunities all the time. I read a book years ago by Annie Dillard. It's called Pilgrim at Tinker Creek, and she
Pilgrim
talks.
at Tinker Creek.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah,
just want to make sure you got that.
She's a Pulitzer Prize winning author. I don't know if she's still alive, but there's a passage in her book where she said, we often walk past pennies on the sidewalk, and we don't bother to bend over to pick it up because it's just a penny. But what if, over a lifetime, we knew how many pennies we walked past? How wealthy might we be? And that's a metaphor, of course.
Yes.
But there are so many different lessons. There's so much to learn in the now. Pay attention.
Oh, wow.
Pay attention to what's in your periphery, not just in front of you.
Well, and animals live in the present.
Absolutely. And again, there's another good example of what animals bring to
Yes,
leadership.
they do.
Is if you're upset, business is hard, you have tough decisions, go spend some time with your dog
Or, in my case, a horse.
or a horse.
Because one of the things I was talking about, and that's why I loved that you had it in your picture, is I can be with my dogs and not be completely present with them. They're around me, I love them.
Absolutely.
But when I'm with an animal that can kill me, I get real present real
Right?
fast.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So this has been terrific. You've got good...